Hello everyone, it's Lightning Bliss. This is going to be a unique video today because I'm actually going to be talking about how me and my husband, Sub-Zero, actually met back in the day. I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. I'm actually recovering from a cold right now, so might be coughing, sneezing, or snorting, but hey, that just makes this video all the more unscripted, right? Excuse me. But yeah, I remember like it was all yesterday. I mean, as of today, it's our 3rd year anniversary, and yet it feels like we've only just been together for a short amount of time. But if it says anything about our relationship, it just means that I never have lost my spark for loving him as much as I do, and he for loving me. But that being said, I'm gonna just go right on into how we met. So, about a few years ago, back when I was about 24, I'd say in 2009, I was in a gaming clan called DBH, or Dark Blood Hunters, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to check out their YouTube channel, and you can see all the poor, horrible videos that I made in the past on their channel. But I was, because I'm retired, one of the founding admins of that gaming community. And at the time, I was mingling around in one of our gaming servers in Alien vs. Predator 2 Gold Edition, and basically, 2 of our members came in that were from Germany, and they told me that somebody wanted to join our group, and he was also from Germany. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, have him come in and I'll give him a trial run, see how he plays. Now, at the time, I would, like, challenge people to fights in a game, not really to see if they were skilled in gaming, no, just to see how they reacted personality-wise during a game, because in our community at the time, we didn't really like, aggressive behavior or racial slander, whatnot. We try to keep it PG within our gaming community. And I say community, but we really are not that big, but yeah, it was our little community at the time. Anyway, this scrawny little alien runner going by the name Xeno comes in, and we do a bit of a duel, and the whole time he is not cussing, he's not typing down slander or whatnot. He would just every now and then compliment on how good I was, and pay in mind, he had no idea I was a girl. So I told him, yeah, you could join, good job, and that was it. I kind of just forgot about him after that. Yeah, little did I know that he would be my future husband one day. Well, as he told me from his side of things, he discovered later on our gaming forum that I was in fact female. And I guess at the time, girls didn't really play a whole lot of games like the one I was playing. So when he found out, he immediately had an interest and wanted to get to know me better. Only to hesitate when he discovered that I was going through a difficult breakup after 4 years dating online with another person. And I was really bitter towards relationships and love in general, and I said some things that were really ugly at the very thought of relationships. So when he caught that, he kind of stepped back and took his time and decided maybe we could just be friends. And sure enough, he and I started talking a lot more on chat rooms like Java and Yahoo Messenger, and we eventually migrated our way up to Skype. And we had a very good, strong friendship, especially with the fact that at one point he was talking to me about his former relationship and how he kind of wished he'd get back involved, but the whole time he's telling me about it and telling me how his former relationship went, I couldn't understand why he wanted to go back to it, because the relationship he was previously in didn't have a whole lot of emotional attachment, and I felt sad for him, and I felt like he could do so much better. One night, though, I had a weak moment with a former friend of ours, and I was lonely, and I said some things that I quickly regretted the next day and apologized to him. But after all was said and done, I went to go talk to Xeno, aka Sub-Zero, and told him what happened. I basically said, nobody's ever gonna love me the same again. Not like that relationship. And what's the point if relationships like that end so badly? I just can't take that kind of trauma anymore. And I know I say trauma, but it was an emotional break for me, you know? And so I just was trying to get through the fact of I should just accept being single and be happy about it. And then he said, well, I love you. Huh? That was my reaction. Huh? He admitted that he had feelings for me for quite some time. Didn't want to say anything because we had such a good friendship going, but he admitted to having feelings for me and wanted to know what I had to say. I was in shock and didn't know what to say, to which the poor, bless his fuzzy little heart, I asked him, can you give me 24 hours to think this over? And he said he would, and those 24 hours were probably a living heck for him. I admit he told me that he couldn't sleep during the wait. He struggled to just focus on anything because he wanted to hear what I had to say. Finally, my 24 hours were up. I come back online and I speak with him. And the first thing I say is, you are crazy! Do you have any idea how this is going to be difficult for the both of us? You live in Germany. I live in America. How is this going to work? Is this going to be strictly online, or are you physically going to see me? Because people have told me they were going to see me, and they never did. So, to which he said, I'll come down and see you this summer. I've always wanted to come to America, and now I have a reason to come. Huh? Yeah. So, he lived up to his word. He came down the summer of 2010, and we got to know each other more, and our relationship definitely grew, and he is still insane. And it's ironic that he admitted these feelings when he did, and that we began to develop this much stronger relationship, both physically and online, because after he left for his first trip down here to go back home, I lost my father about a month after he left, and I admit it was an extremely devastating blow, and I have to say, without Sub-Zero supporting me, I don't know if I could have made it through that first year of loss, and it was really, really difficult for me and my family, and at the time, I was able to come down and see him in Germany for the holidays of that same year, and I am more than grateful to him and his family for allowing me that chance to go overseas for the first time in my life and have a proper chance to mourn away from the family. If anything, our relationship just grew and grew and grew, and for the next few years, like 2 years at tops, he would come down and spend time with me 3 months during the summer, and then I would come down and see him in the winter for 3 months. This went on for about 2 years, and by the second time, or was it the third time, that he went back home, and I waited for him to come back online for Skype, the first thing he told me was, I made a mistake, I should not have left. I hate saying goodbye to you, and I hate flying. There's got to be a better way, and you know what, I'm done. I'm tired of this. The next time I come to see you, I'm not going back home. So there was a long pause for a second, and I said, well, sweetie, the only way you can stay here is if you were to... Wait a minute. Are you proposing to me? And he smiled, and he said, looks like I am. Are you crazy? Yeah. I still say he's crazy to this day. I mean, not only did he marry me, but he married my giant, enormous, Texas-sized family. I mean, he's an only child, and I'm the third out of 6 kids, and they have kids of their own, so it's like, yeah, when you're marrying me, you're also marrying my family. You know that, right? And he said, I do. And I'm like, you're gonna have to put up with all our drama, all our loud voices, all of us talking over each other. You think you can handle that? He's like, I've already been handling it, sweetie. I love you, and I will learn to love your family. I already do love them. And yeah. So that's how we got engaged. And I have to admit, this was a painful 2-year process for us because immigration of a fiancé visa is not easy to figure out. I don't even know how other people are able to handle it with all this information you have to make or grab for the government to prove that this is an actual relationship. The first time we applied, we had no idea we need an attorney, and we spent several dollars just to apply for this visa, and we waited almost a year to get a response, only to get a letter in the mail saying that our case has been dismissed because of lack of evidence. And rather than telling us what evidence we were lacking from the very get-go, they just dismissed our case. So we ended up having to scramble our savings to hire an attorney to help us go through this process. And they even told us that the way the government treated us was just immorally wrong, but they don't care. They have that right to do that. But the least thing they could have done was told us what we were lacking in evidence. But they didn't. So after a painful 2 years of processing through the government system and me having to fly to Germany so we could go to the U.S. Embassy in Frankfurt, Germany, we finally made it back home to my home state, and we only had 3 months to get married. I remember we had to scramble for like a cake and a wedding dress and a location. The reason why we really had to do all this was because this is also proof of evidence that we were getting married, so taking pictures and whatnot was important. But also because he and I wanted to go through that process because we felt that it was an important event that our family should be a part of. Heck, even his family got to see our wedding live through a live Skype webcam, so they were able to watch us get married. It was a great feeling to feel that his family could at least see the event happen and unfold in front of them. So we got married. Our honeymoon was crazy. We got lost, and I remember that we were trying to find this amazing Italian restaurant and we couldn't find it, and I got really upset because I'm terrible at directions. And to salvage the night, he said, the first restaurant we see, we're gonna eat there. And that was a Sonic restaurant that we ended up eating at. So for those who don't know, a Sonic restaurant is basically a fast food joint you can find pretty much anywhere in the United States. But yeah, ever since then, he and I, we've always been together. We do practically everything together when it comes to shopping or going to see the movies or financial disputes. We go through them all the time. I cherish every moment we have, and I never forget our wedding day. I never forget how we first met. I never forget how we fell in love. And to this day, I still say he is crazy. He is crazy. I don't know how he does it, because I admit I could be a silly person to live with. But he says I'm crazy too, and I'm his little goofball, so yeah. He's behind me right now working on the computer, and he doesn't want to be heard at this time, but he wants to make it clear to everybody who had donated their fan art to this video. Thank you so much for caring, and thank you so much for the lovely artwork. He really appreciates it as well as I do. On that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little story, and keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.